This is the Experience Pros Radio Show. Got an opinion or want to ask us a question? Email radio@experiencepros.com or message us on the Experience Pros Facebook page, and we'll interact with you live on the show.
Welcome back to the Experience Pros Radio Show. Angel Tussey and Eric Kramer helping you get your business and your life right. And where those two meet is right in the middle, and you should see my middle.
You see our middles, right?
Mhm.
You know, if you go to the grocery store, you probably don't even realize anymore that certain foods are only in season certain times of the year. And yet, because we get stuff shipped in from all over the world, we don't even realize that we might be eating foods that are out of season. Why should it matter? Because apparently our bodies were only designed to eat certain foods during certain seasons.
What?
Right? Nature, according to our next guest, Dr. John Douillard, he says nature provides the ideal harvest for each season that keeps us strong, healthy, energized, and focused. So, of course, in the winter, we want, those soups, nuts, warm grains. Springs, we want salads and vegetables. There's a reason for that. Dr. John Douillard is a leader in the natural health field and the author of the book, The 3-Season Diet, and also Eat Wheat. You can find him at lifespa.com. He says our stomachs change throughout the year to stay in rhythm with nature. And so a seasonal diet may just be what your tummy is looking for.
Really?
Dr. John Douillard, welcome to Experience Pros.
Great to be here. Thank you.
Dr. Douillard, why can't I eat whatever I want whenever I want? I mean, let's keep it right there. Simple.
Yeah, you can, but I think we should be thinking about what we should eat more of versus what we should not eat.
Okay.
And I think that changes all the rules and makes it a lot easier for all of us.
All right. So we are heading into the fall season. What should we be eating more of?
Well, when you think about what's happening in nature, I mean, you have all your fruits and lots of your vegetables are being harvested right now. You have nuts and seeds and grains right around the corner. So there's a massive transition. Right now, at the end of the summer, there's this thing called thermal accumulation, where the earth, we get hotter. That's why all the forest fires right now at the end of the summer. So nature, in its wisdom, says we're going to give you a whole bunch of cooling food so you don't overheat, like apples and pomegranates and watermelons and leafy green vegetables. So right now, before we kind of make that transition, and as we speak, we're making that transition into cooler nights and even cooler days. But right now, the word on the street is, let's cool the body down, get heat out of the body. When a baby gets a fever, they also generally get diarrhea. The body's way to dissipate heat is with a loose bowel movement. If you go to the northwest or the northeast where they harvest apples throughout the months of August, September, and October, they walk around with loose bowel movements for the entire fall.
Oh, all right.
Because apples are purgatives and they force the body to have a looser stool, which is nature's natural way to dissipate heat out of the body.
Okay, Dr. Douillard, hold on for a second though, because I heard all of that, and wow, I didn't know we were going to go in that direction, but I did not hear you say there are baby cows or baby pigs or things like that being produced in the fall as well. Is it just fruits and vegetables? Are we abandoning the protein? Or the meat-based protein?
No. But when you look at protein, though, we should be thinking, that the so much science has come out suggesting that we don't really need as much protein as we think we need. The hunter-gatherers, when you talk to any anthropologist, will tell you they ate meat, infrequently in small amounts. And when you look at the centenarian people around the world, the people who live in the blue zones, they eat about 10% of their diet as animal protein. They were not massive or major meat eaters. So we want to think about, and right now, as we move into the winter when it's getting colder and drier, then we're going to probably amp up our intake of meat and protein and fat. But that doesn't happen until we go into the colder weather. Right now, if you're living on a farm, are you going to kill your chickens right now where they're making 3, 4, 5, 6 eggs a day or maybe even more? Or you have your vegetable garden, you can't eat it fast enough? You're going to probably wait till those chickens stop laying in the cold part of the winter, or you're going to go hunting in the winter, and that's when it's colder and drier, and the proteins, the nuts and the seeds, which are naturally available, are the natural antidote to the extreme of that season when the winter is cold and dry, and those nuts and seeds and meats and proteins and fats support that.
Okay, so Dr. Douillard, you wrote the book, The 3-Season diet. Now in Colorado, we still have 4 seasons. Why 3 seasons instead of 4?
I know that's confusing, and there are 4 seasons. I haven't changed that. But there are 3 growing seasons, which means that we harvest 3 basic times. There's a spring harvest, a summer harvest, like right now we're getting all those fruits and vegetables out of the, from the harvest. And there's a fall harvest, which are the nuts and the grains and the seeds for winter eating. So we really interact with, and then there's one season from a growing perspective that sort of takes a rest. So nature takes a season off. And that's how nature is based on cycles of rest and activity. So we have 3 seasons of harvest and a season of rest. So there's 3 active seasons. So we have a spring harvest, which is a rainy, muddy season. We get leafy greens and sprouts and cherries, the antidote, the tendency to make mucus and get allergies. We have a summer harvest, which is very cooling fruits and vegetables that antidote the heat of summer. And we have a high protein, high fat harvest in the fall for winter eating, which antidotes the tendency for us to be, more cold and more dry. And we need that nourishment, that rebuilding, and that fat to insulate in the long winter months.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
this is actually making sense. I know Eric's afraid we're gonna take away his meat products. But here's the thing, Dr. Douillard, is I go to the grocery store and they're shipping fruits and vegetables in from all over the country or all over the globe, even when they're not in season.
Greenhousing it.
And so is there a downside, a negative side to eating watermelon in the winter?
Well, avocados, for example, are harvested, in the summertime, but they're actually really good in the winter for us here because they have a lot of fat. So what we actually have and what the traditional, Ayurvedic medicine did was they actually took foods from all over the world and classified them to the seasons of winter, summer, and spring. And I actually published for free a grocery list, a superfood list, and a recipe list for every month of the year called the 3-Season Diet Challenge. You can get it on my website at lifespa.com. And that just gives you a grocery list. You take it to the grocery store, hey, this is what like we said in the very beginning, circle the foods on the grocery list that you like and give yourself permission to eat more of those foods that are in season. Get more of the foods in season, and then you can basically enjoy a healthy, balanced, non-processed whole foods the very best you can. But try to get medicinal dosage of what nature's trying to make happen every time the seasons change.
Well, there it is right there, lifespa.com, which is not only where you can get that free grocery list, but you can also pick up your copy of Dr. John's book, The 3-Season Diet and Eat Wheat, which we didn't even get into that, but time is going to prohibit, Dr. John. We'll have to have you back because Eat Wheat is one of those provocative things that is not in vogue these days.
Yeah, and again, there's enzymes in our bodies that help us digest wheat in the fall. There's enzymes that actually change in our bodies cyclically. So the bottom line is we're part of nature. We got to get back to doing that. Eat whole foods, not refined wheat, not Wonder Bread, and most people can start digestion again. And we can talk more about that next time.
There you go.
Thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you, guys.
Absolutely. And folks, don't go anywhere. More positive business talk just on the other side of these messages. You're listening to Angel Tussey and Eric Kramer. This is the Experience Pros Radio Network.
The Experience Pros, revolutionizing the way people treat people.